Hello everyone, welcome to Music of the Mountains Jindo Dog Journeys. Today we're going to have another installment of our Under the Microscope series, and we're going to take a look at this album, Strange Highways by Dio, Ronnie James Dio. Of course, the late great Ronnie James Dio, who left us way too soon in 2010 and is arguably one of the best heavy metal vocalists of all time. Whether he really is or not, that's a debate for another time. But I wanted to spend time today focusing on this sixth solo studio album from the Dio discography, Strange Highways. I find that this is a very compelling album that I think is somewhat overlooked and certainly not as well known as many, if not all, of his solo releases that came before it. I'm not going to spend any time talking about work in prior bands. That's well known, well established. We know he was in Rainbow, we know he was in Black Sabbath, and we know that he created a couple of very significant solo albums in the early 80s when he embarked on his solo career. But what I want to do is talk about Strange Highways and put it under the microscope and look at it as to why it is a very compelling album. So, released in October of 1993, his sixth solo album. What was going on in Dio's career at this time? Well, he had just recently come off the heels of the Dio era Black Sabbath reunion. The Dehumanizer album by Black Sabbath came out in 1992, and that did not work out. The reunion kind of fell apart after that, and Dio is back working on solo material yet again. He forms a new lineup for his next album, and on this album we find a couple of folks that he had not worked with previously. One being Tracy, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Tracy Grijalva, or otherwise known as Tracy G, on guitars. We also have Jeff Pilson, who was formerly in Dokken and then later joined Foreigner as the bass player. And then we have Vinny Appice, who of course was in Black Sabbath before, as well as many other projects. So this is the lineup that is on Strange Highways. Sonically, this is a different kind of album for Dio. This does not have a lot of resemblance to his commercial sounding 80s solo albums. There's not a lot of keyboards on this. You may recall that some of those early Dio solo albums, the keyboards do have kind of a prominent role in some songs. Not so much here. This is guitars, thunderous bass, thunderous rhythms, wild guitar playing, very heavy, doom-laden album, a lot of technically proficient rhythms, shifting rhythms that are very fluid throughout the songs, snarling, menacing vocals. You also don't have lyrical subject matter that addresses kind of the fantasy, dragons, wizards kind of lyrics that Dio is known for frequently. Sometimes, not all of his lyrics address those subjects, but I think that's what he's known for the most. Well, not on this album. That's not what the lyrical focus is here. So all of this comes together to create, for me, a very compelling set of songs, and wanted to go through this set of songs and talk about them and why I think that this album deserves a lot more attention. We get to track number 1 to start things off with the song Jesus, Mary, and the Holy Ghost. And the song is a very powerful opener. A lot of stabbing and slashing guitars that Tracy G is doing. There's some interesting effects that you hear on Dio's vocals, almost like a computerized cyborg atmosphere that creeps into the song, and not only on his vocals, but also on Tracy G's guitars. There's a stomping rhythm section. This is a very compelling opener. And I must say, you listen to all the guitar work from Tracy G on this album, the guy really throws everything at you. He has big, doom-laden riffs, and as far as technique and style goes, he throws a lot of other things in the pot as well. Big whammy bar dives and his soloing, lightning fast runs up and down the neck, big juicy bends, a lot of left hand stuff going on, pinch harmonics and different kinds of techniques there. So just a lot of things going on. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Zakk Wylde as a guitar player, who of course became famous for working with Ozzy Osbourne. But he's also his own person too, and a very proficient guitar player. So the second song on the album is another stomping heavy rocker called Firehead. Very memorable song with a very dazzling and even dizzying, almost vertigo-inducing guitar solo, where Tracy G is doing some of these innovative tricks that I talked about. Subject matter kind of addresses the force of anger, you know, the fire in our minds when we get angry, and what that can what is the outcome of some of that. Next we have the title track, one of my very favorites on the album, Strange Highways. This does have a section where there's a little bit of keyboard in it. It starts with a very moody atmosphere to it, and then it really starts to stomp. And the song is somewhat reminiscent of the Dio era Black Sabbath song, Sign of the Southern Cross. It has kind of that big, sludgy, doominess to it. And musically, it's absolutely fantastic, but lyrically, it's excellent as well. To quote one line in the lyrics, "Crawl inside myself and ride into the wind on strange highways." Yeah, that's very compelling psychological symbolism to me. I think we got to think of this symbolically as strange highways of the mind. And if you think about a highway is a path that a person travels on that leads to a destination. And what we encounter on this highway may be mundane, or it may be extreme or frightening, pleasing. We don't know. But we're talking about, I think, kind of the highways of our brains and what that means in terms of cognition, emotion. There's a lot of psychological symbolism, I think, encapsulated in this song, and that spills over as a unifying theme throughout a lot of the songs on this album. I find that very fascinating, and it was a very compelling part of why I really like this album. After that, we have a song called Hollywood Black. This is a song where I've read it may have been something that was demoed originally for the Dehumanizer album, but obviously didn't make it. It kind of addresses the challenges and the tribulations of celebrity culture. A great song musically. One of my favorites on the album, actually, and it's got a very catchy, infectious chorus. Big chugging guitars are also present on this song. Next, we have the song Evolution. I really like the swirly, chorusy effect on the guitar and the verses in this song. I like the eeriness in some of the almost inaudible vocals that you hear in the middle of the song. And I like kind of the subject matter of this. You know, we talk about strange highways with our collective minds. We might not go with what we think and do. That might not take us to anywhere good. And if we talk about the concept of what evolution is, I think that connects nicely with the symbolism, some of the symbolism of Strange Highways. After this is a song called Pain, kind of addressing the ubiquitousness of pain. It's another song, like many of these songs on this album have deep, heavy grooves from Apathy and Pilsen. And this is a song that has that. Maybe not my favorite song on the album, but a good song nonetheless. After this, we have a song called One Foot in the Grave. It's a good mid-tempo rocker. It's a more rhythmic track. This might be my least favorite song on the album. Still good, though. Pain and One Foot in the Grave, probably my least favorite part of the album. But after that, the album really picks up again with the remaining tracks. Give Her a Gun is the next song. I like the moody dynamics in this. It has some acoustic guitar at the beginning and in the verse section. It has these mysterious lyrics. You're not sure what quite is going on, but it's addressing relationships in one manner or another. From there, we get to another one of my personal favorite tracks on the album, which is Blood from a Stone. Very catchy, great hooks, great chorus. The song really does have an immediate impact. And you talk about the concept of blood from a stone. You're not able to persuade anyone or influence anyone, or maybe they can't persuade you. And I think that's just a great imagery and symbolism there again. And again, maybe another destination along the strange highways of the mind and what we encounter in our interactions and our interpersonal relationships. Very fascinating. Next song is a up-tempo scorcher called Here's to You. Starts off with this kind of big 80s arena rock chorus, but the song is kind of punky, kind of thrashy, and Tracy G just leaves nothing out of the pot in terms of the guitar fireworks on this song, particularly for the solo. Everything's going on there, and it's just wild bombast, and it's just excellent. And then finally, this album ends on the great song, Bring Down the Rain. And I just am a huge fan of this song. It's another song that's very catchy, very memorable chorus, great hooks in it. We talk about the strange highways concept again. In our minds, we're talking about ambition and passion and impulse and how that can kind of get the best of us, creates this fire that causes problems if it's not kept in check. And the rain is kind of something that washes over us to cool us down, put out that fire, sober us up. And this is just a great song lyrically and musically. So those are the 11 tracks on the album. This is a fantastic piece of work by Dio and his discography. Now this lineup would continue for one more release. That was 1996's Angry Machines. I have listened to some of the songs on that, on most of the songs, and I don't find them nearly as immediate compared to the songs on Strange Highways. I don't find it quite as immediate or maybe quite as memorable. I think the songwriting, the arrangements, the performances, just everything came together. There's just great chemistry. Dio sounds great on this album. Menacing, snarling vocal delivery, vocal performances. This is a great piece of work. I think it's overlooked in his catalog, but really strongly encourage you, if you're a Dio fan, to listen to this or give it another solid listen, and let me know what you think. Have a great day.